There we are. Hi,
Hello.
everybody. Hello. Look who I got
Good
with
to
me.
see you.
Yes, it's good to see you and good to see those of you in the chat. Thanks for being here with us this morning and happy Monday morning, the last day of July. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, already. Oh, my goodness.
That's right. Annie and I were just talking backstage. Her husband has retired. On Friday
Yes.
was his last day.
It's his first Monday home.
And I said, okay, I understand totally. And it's going to be an adjustment for all.
Yep.
I don't know if any of you other ladies have husbands at home, but I do understand. And we all need our quiet time. So lots and lots of luck with that. So I'm sure most of you know Annie in the chat, and she has been on Terry Renner's channel holding your space because Terry's such a wonderful person.
She is wonderful.
And I love her dearly. And when I saw Annie Bear be interviewed on her channel, I think it was around Father's Day, wasn't it? Okay. Was it around? Yeah, it was around Father's Day, I think, because you were doing a painting for somebody for a Father's Day
Yes,
gift.
you're right. I remember that. That was for my son. That's right.
It was so beautiful, and I love the fact that it was like a half moon this way.
Yeah.
Like that, like a horizon picture, and it was just so beautiful. So if you ever want to take a look at what Annie has done on Terry's channel, that is still up. But I've always, there you are, Terry. Her ears are burning, she says.
Her ears are burning. I have a playlist of the 3 times that Terry and I have visited together, and it's such a joy.
It is a joy.
It was everything I had in me when you kindly invited me. I got a hold of Terry and I said, Terry, I didn't even say what I wanted to say, which was, can I bring Terry with me?
She's welcome to be here. You should have said so. It's perfectly fine with me because she comes, as you know, on my dream show, and right. Sometimes she works with us on Sundays. So yes, she's wonderful.
Holds a space beautifully.
She does.
So gracious. Yes, she does.
She does. She holds it just perfectly for all of us.
Yeah.
But anyway, she's here supporting you. So there you go.
Yay. Yeah. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, Terry. We love you, dear. Hi, Sharon. I want to say hello also to Melinda and Anne. Good morning to you.
Morning.
Marina Tato, which is, I believe, New Zealand speak. Sherry Z, Starhawk, Nancy, Chris B, and Rossi, and Gigi.
Hi, Gigi.
Yeah. All right. So when I was listening, hi, Debbie. No, it's good to see you as well. When I was listening to some of the conversation that you were having with Terry, I don't know if that was your first time or I didn't realize you had 3. Now I got to go back. See, I got to go back. Hi, Laurie. One of the things that struck me personally was that I'm of a certain age where in the 90s, I was in my 30s and I moved from, I think I moved from Virginia to Panama City, Florida. And I only ended up living there for a year, but I know why I was there because that's where I met my people. And one of them was a Zapotec Native American from Mexico. That's a tribe in Mexico.
Okay.
And she looked very much Native American. I mean, she was amazing. She had the most beautiful skin and she had that dark charcoal black hair. And her name was Adela. And she taught us as much as she knew about Native American spirituality, that I brought my kids into it. I ended up getting the cards that you were talking about, which are your medicine, animal medicine cards. And I also got there was another one that came out at about the same time, another pack of cards, but it was Native American as well. And we would meet once a week. We would do all kinds of work and learning about the 4 directions and learning about, so many other things. And at that time had a medicine wheel.
Oh, you did? Oh. Okay.
So I'm going to talk a little bit about the medicine wheel, and I'd love you to talk about, how that, have you been in one? Have you laid in one before, a medicine wheel?
I've made them
Okay.
outdoors.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I've made them
Yeah.
outdoors, and I used to make quite elaborate altars.
Did
Um,
you?
yeah, it was part of the learning, and it helped me to ground the things I was learning, and it
Hmm.
helped me to interact with the earth,
Right.
which
Right.
always feels so good.
Yeah. Going out and finding the stones
Yeah.
that hold the medicine wheel, breaking that medicine wheel into different sections,
Hmm.
and then wrapping up in a blanket and laying in it while
Hmm.
other people stood around and then chanted and drummed and walked. And I
Oh,
had my son, and he was about 6,
okay.
and he went into it. He was very highly asthmatic, and he's older now, of course.
Hmm. Right.
And he doesn't have a real sense of religiosity. He's, which is fine. But I exposed him to all of these things. He laid in that medicine wheel, and
Oh,
honest to God, he came up out of that thing, and he was all set to be a Native American,
I believe it.
as if you could choose. But yeah, it was very impactful. It
I've
was
never
very,
laid in a medicine wheel like in that way, the way you describe with
yeah,
other people drumming. That sounds so powerful.
it
I
really
would do
was.
things like that by myself, but
Sure,
how amazing is that? I really liked watching what animals would show up, what insects would show up. That
sure. Yeah,
like
yeah.
spider, because without spider we would not dream,
True. That's
and
true.
without whales we would not have babies.
Uh-huh.
They hold the medicine for that. So I like it in that way because that's a way I
Sure.
can
You
pay
can relate
attention and
to it.
be a part of the story now. I want to be
Sure.
part of the story wherever I am, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because the
Yeah.
story is much older than we are.
The story is old,
Yeah.
and what's really the truth is that all story, and this is one of the things I wanted to talk about today,
Uh-huh.
because as an English teacher and literature teacher, I love story, and I've read a lot of
Sure.
story in my life.
Yeah.
I have listened to Clarissa Pinkola Estes, who
Mhm.
is uh, Hispanic, but she has an edge on sort of, I don't know how to explain it. She sort of talks about Native American stuff. I'm not sure she has any of that in her roots, but
That
she
name
brings
sounds
in,
familiar.
does it, Women Who Run with Wolves. Did you ever read that book?
I slogged through part of that book because I was in counseling for 18 years,
Okay.
behavioral counseling, and my
Oh,
counselor brought it up to me, and
mhm.
I told
It
her
is
I'm
a
just
slog.
having a heck of a time. I'm having
Yeah.
a heck of a time. I was all excited, and I thought I would dive into it like an otter in water.
Uh-huh.
It was a
Wasn't
slog.
the right time, Annie. Wasn't the
It
right time.
wasn't. And I
Yeah.
started dreaming things. So when I run into that, which happens to me quite a bit, like,
Hmm.
I don't know if I'm late to the party or I'm going a different way or whatever, but I'll ask Creator, can you help me understand this?
Yep.
Uh,
Yep.
I'm feeling resistance in myself and I don't want to be.
It's beautiful that you have that ability to compartmentalize. There's some resistance going on. I need some help, because a lot of us are just uneasy and we don't know why. So that's really admirable, Annie.
Oh,
That's
thank you. It sure
yeah,
helps me because then
sure.
I don't want ego to trip me up. So, because ego
Understood.
was just supposed to keep our bodies safe.
That's all.
It wasn't supposed to run the entire show. But, but then I'd
Yeah.
ask Creator, can you help me understand why I'm resisting the story? And then
Yeah.
I started dreaming about keys, where I
Ah,
like a tree full of keys. I found keys everywhere.
beautiful.
And I'm
Really?
like, okay, so it's always a bit of a mystery. So I
Mhm.
just sort of blindly go forward and go, okay, keys. I will be a key. I am a key. I'm looking for a key.
Yeah. No,
The clues.
you're holding the key. You really are. The trees are holding it for you because because Native American is who you are. And I realize part of you said is also Irish. Is that right?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
My
Okay.
grandmother on the Irish side, her name, I never met her. She died when my dad
Mhm.
was a boy. Her name was
Uh-huh.
Gypsy, and she foretold her death. She had an
Wow.
invisible cat because dad said he could see when a cat lay down in a basket, he could see the indent.
Oh
Um,
my.
she loved to dance like crazy. She had a lariat. Dad said she was wicked good with a lariat. Those are those
How
leather
cool
things
is
that
that?
he's
Oh, that's
and
beautiful.
I
Yeah.
wish I had met her. Terry once told me she saw her around me, which made my heart very happy. And
Uh-huh.
so I have a poem where I describe where native drums leave off, bagpipes claim. Because
Oh,
when I hear bagpipes, I stop, and I'll never forget the first time I heard them. I just stood there crying because it was so beautiful to me. It
sure.
was so beautiful. It was like I could feel it inside.
Right.
Uh,
Right.
so
Oh, how beautiful. How
I had
beautiful.
friends on the reservation that were also of mixed blood because almost everybody is.
Sure.
And we got in an argument because I'm like, you can't ignore the other part of you.
Hmm.
We can't just choose to like, okay, I'm gonna flounce around the world claiming my Indianness only and
Right.
not the Irish part or whatever else part. We have to wear them both.
We do have to wear them both.
We have to
And
honor both.
and as a person not Native American that would like to have been Native American, I also recognize that a lot of Native Americans don't care for non-Native Americans to do things that are more inherently done by Native Americans. And I don't mean it in a bad way. It's just that if I wanted to become a teacher of Native American ways, I would be less, maybe, I don't know, intrinsically able to do that because I don't carry the lineage and the pain, let's say, or the growth of the Native American nation. So,
Yeah, a lot gets appropriated. Even the fact that there are, I don't say anything, but it's like, okay, we're all a tribe now. And in myself, I think, excuse me, I'm actually part of a tribe. And then I think, but actually behind that, before that, we weren't tribes. Before we were tribes, we were the people.
correct, you were
We were
the
the
people.
people, the people.
Absolutely, you were
So
the
I think
original.
it's a
Yep.
good learning. It's a good learning for me too. And I just adore Teresa Ford. She's like a
Oh,
sister.
Teresa, yes, I had to
She
put that
has,
out.
she's
Wonderful.
been encouraging me since I first started my channel about 5 months ago. She was right there from the beginning going, offering advice or encouragement and I think
That's
she was
wonderful.
so thrilled when I finally bought a microphone. So
Teresa,
you
you're
hear that.
great. That's great.
Yeah,
Thank you
she
for
is.
being
It's
that. And I
wonderful.
just want to say, those of you who came in later here, thank you for being here with Annie and I today
Thank
and
you.
sharing with us and holding space with us, taking a little bit away from Terry Renner, not meaning to. Terry's one of my members, and I love her dearly. So
Yeah, me
yeah.
too.
And so
Me too.
I pulled up some information about the Sauk. It's Sauk, Sauk, correct? That's your tribe. Is that right?
I am
Is that
Sauk Suattle,
Sauk?
Puyallup,
Okay.
Nisqually, and Swinomish.
Oh my goodness.
4
That's
clans
where, okay, so that's
on.
where all the Washington tribes come in, because I noticed that this says Iowa, Oklahoma, Kansas, and
No.
Wisconsin, and all that.
Oh,
So that is
that's lovely. But Sauk Suattle, because remember before Seattle was called Seattle, it was called Suattle.
true, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So Sauk Suattle. But
And the same with Chief
gonna
Seattle.
mention.
His real name was Chief Self, right? Sealth, I believe.
I thought it was Seattle, but I would happily be corrected. I don't
I've gone to
know.
his cemetery spot there on the peninsula,
Oh,
and so
oh,
somebody told me they went to Chief Self's high
hmm.
school in Seattle, and that was his. But I can be
Oh my
corrected. That's
goodness.
fine. Yeah,
Oh, that's amazing.
I know, I
That's
know.
amazing.
But that makes me really happy because that you have all of those tribes. Swinomish, you say, and what else? The
Yeah.
Swinomish
Sauk
and
Suattle, Swinomish, Puyallup, and
Swinomish.
Nisqually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, on the maternal side.
on the maternal side.
Yeah, my
You
mom is.
certainly got the bloodline there, girlfriend.
Yeah, yeah.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
I asked our tribal chairman, like, he's a cousin, Brian Clattisby. He's not the chairman right now, but I
Hmm.
asked him about how we were related.
Hmm.
because I was a single mom for 10 years. And so I would go to powwows because I loved the pretty boys
Oh,
and
yeah.
the food. And I love the drums. There's nothing in the world like a
It
big
really
drum.
melts your heart. It melts your heart. Yeah.
It
Yeah.
does. So I'd
Uh-huh.
ask him how we were related. And so I'd get a little bit more knowledge about that.
Sure.
Yeah.
I've been to a couple of powwows. One of the most influential, and I was telling Linda G about it the other day when she was on my channel.
Yeah.
I was living in Florida, and there was a powwow in Alabama, which was quite a ride, but
Yeah.
it wasn't, it was fine. I took my daughter with me, and we
Road
went up.
trip.
It was past Birmingham. It was up in that area, beautiful
Okay.
area, lots of trees. Sun Bear had just passed, and he has written lots of Native American books that I had read. So I really wanted
I've read some of his work.
Have you? Oh, good.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was his people that were doing the powwow.
Okay.
I think it's Wobbin Wind was one of his people as well. And the whole thing blew me away. It blew me away. We were in this huge circle. There was drumming, there was chanting, there was feet moving, there was people dancing, Native American dancing. And that weekend, my dad passed away. And so I felt that. And it was like being with people who understood, I guess.
Yes. It's a soft way, isn't it? It's a soft way.
It is. Yeah. And so he passed in November, but the December before, he had come down to see me in Florida, and he actually bought me those cards, the Sacred Path cards, which is the Native American cards, because he knew I was working with the Native Americans. So it was, I know, just everything about it gives me chills at this time. It really does. But this is how full circle that whole thing was and how important it was to me. And I was telling Annie beforehand, Annie holds the energy that we need right now. And she mentioned even for grounding, and we do need grounded energy, but she holds the beautiful energy of the Native American people and also the Celts, because Irish are Celtic, and they have similarities in some ways.
Very much so.
They do things.
Very much so.
And I said, I think that her channel needs to just, and it will. She's got other things she's doing. I'm not trying to rush her, but I think her channel might be one where we go to for the grounding, for the journeying, for the questions, for the learning, because I think we're missing that component here on YouTube that we sorely need. And it's the stories that we tell. And you are a storyteller. You're a poet, and you're also an author, and you're writing a book, and you're an artist as well. So you've got all of that going for you. And anyway, I just want to make sure that you know that we need you. We need you here.
Thank you.
We need you doing what it is you're doing.
Thank you very much. I've asked Terry to help me do a journey.
That's wonderful.
And we both felt like that was a good idea.
That was a good idea.
Do that. Yeah.
Yes. And I'm here to encourage you both to do it. Terry has got that. It's got that energy that just exudes comfort.
Yeah. Very feminine, energy. Strong, but quietly so.
Yeah. Very much so. Very much so. So yes. So my teacher, Adela, she, like I say, she was somebody that came into my life in 1990, and there were probably about 20 to 25 of us who studied under her. She didn't charge us. Okay. She just gave us what we needed to know and what we needed to learn. At the same time, after we did that medicine wheel, the movie Dances with Wolves came out. And although I know that some Native Americans may not care for the movie, or there were people that don't like the movie, for me, it was instrumental. It was.
I thought it was beautiful. And I saw wind in his hair at a powwow.
Oh, my Lord. Did you?
So gorgeous.
Oh, I bet he was. Did he still have the long black hair?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. But I really related to how remember when he says, I always react with anger first? Yes. That specific scene helped me enormously.
I bet it did.
Related to that.
And isn't he the one that says, You will always be Dances with Wolves. You will always be my friend. I love you. Yeah. Oh my
Yeah.
God, I got chills.
Tears streaming. Yeah.
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 Oh, Rhonda Rue, welcome. Thank you for being a new member. It's so nice to have you on board.
Hi,
Wonderful. Thank you.
Rondaroo.
Yeah, Rhonda Rue. Well, that movie, of course, my son had been in the medicine wheel, and so it just sort of made everything concrete. I don't know how to say it any
Yeah.
other way, but that's one of my favorite movies of all time, because I love the fact they spoke in Sioux language, or Lakota Sioux, I guess, and
Yeah.
it just, I know it wasn't, they Hollywoodize everything, but I really felt like it also opened up, I don't know if this is even true though, if it opened up the idea that Native American people were wise, they knew what they were talking about, and it wasn't like put them on the res. And I know there's still some of that, but it was like, don't put them on the res. They have a lot to say, if you know what I mean. Don't poo-poo it. Make it as important as it truly is. Whereas before, what were they trying to do? Christianize everybody. They wanted you guys, your ancestors and so on, not to follow Native, but to actually become.
Yeah. I mean, it was a federal offense until 1967 for us to do our ceremonies. It was a federal offense. So, yeah, let's not even go there.
No, I know. I don't mean to bring up sad things.
In the movie, when the little boy who smiles a lot and a buffalo is coming straight at him, that to me, that was a story right there, just in that picture. Remember when he just stood there? And I think, that's how we have to face things sometimes. Say, okay, I'm going to be me. I'm going to be me, and I'm just going to stand here and let this happen. It's happening. I think we have to do that. And it's a beautiful bravery to be vulnerable like that. Yes. Yeah. I thought that scene, that there were a number of scenes that really spoke to me. Yeah. That really, really spoke to me. And I remember that as being one of them. And Graham Greene used to come to I always wanted to meet Graham Greene. He used to come to the casino that was on the reservation I was living at. So I told my roommate, I'm like, if he comes, you gotta call me, because I want to meet him.
Oh yeah. I think all of us still would like to. I think he's still around. Of course. He was such a handsome younger man. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. What do you got there? You got a eagle feather?
Oh, this was a hawk feather.
A hawk feather.
It was gifted to me a few weeks ago when I was working on forgiveness, and I'm still doing that. I forgive myself for anyone that I have harmed, knowingly or unknowingly, since the beginning of my time here. And this was shared with all of us by JJ Tuta Speaks. And
she's so wonderful. I love JJ. Yeah.
She shared. Yes. And she shared that with all of us. And I took that to heart. And she said, we forgive ourselves and we forgive others.
Right.
And it actually inspired me to write a poem about it. And that was gifted to me while I was like, okay, because I think we come up with really great ideas, but we have to actually do them. And it's such a powerful time right now that we each and every single one of us doing it in our small way means something.
It does.
We're here together at the same time on purpose. This is what we're good at. We're superbly good at going into systems where someone wants to control it. Yeah. And we light it up from the inside out. And we all stand in our power, even if my power is equivalent of a 25-watt light bulb. Hey, that's still 25 watts.
Thank you. That's us being of service. And isn't that what we're all here for?
That is exactly what we're here to do, is to be of service. Yes. Not to run the show, to be of service.
That's right.
Whatever that means. And sometimes it means, when I was younger, I always wanted being of service to mean, I will be fierce. And then I got a little bit older. I'm like, okay, I will know everything. But what being of service means is I will accept my flaws. Right. Today I will pick up garbage because it's right in front of me. Today I will help someone because I can.
Right.
you
Right.
know, so
I'll even
it's
smile
so
at
fluid.
someone. I'll smile
Yeah,
at somebody
yes.
today. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I actually, you know, I love doing that when we go shopping. My husband is a tall, handsome man. He's Norwegian. He's a little bit pushy and impatient sometimes because he's, you know, a white privileged male. but he'll see people and he'll kind of get frustrated with them, like they're not moving fast enough or they're
Right.
left their cart in the aisle. I'm like, love, they could be on Social Security. This could be the only time of the month that they get to go out and interact with the world. And the rest of the time, they're probably really lonely. So it's a good idea to ask them, hey, do you like this shirt on me? Does this color go with me? Or,
I
hey,
love it. Oh my
have you
God, I love
tried
it.
this? You know, have you tried? I think I'm going to try this new pasta thing. And oh my goodness, they just light up.
Sure they
We
do.
all,
You see
yes,
them. You see them.
yeah.
Yes.
That's
Um,
what's so important. I mean,
yes. Yes.
that's a
Yes.
precious thing to be a part of
It
and to
definitely is.
receive it and to give it. I mean, I think giving it even feels better,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know?
I agree. I
So,
agree.
yeah.
I want to go shopping with you. I do the same thing. I do funny things too, weird things though. Like I saw this guy and he had potato chips and beer. And I said to him, well, don't forget the dip, you know. And he just looked at me like I was a dip. But then he realized, you know, I don't really care. I
Yeah.
just find it,
It's
I
fun to
see
be
you.
silly.
I see you. I'm silly. Yeah,
Yeah.
it
Or
really
ride
is.
the grocery cart when you go back to the car and ride it in the parking
Right
lot.
on the back. Yes.
Yeah.
Or jump
Yeah.
on that little thing. Yeah, I've done that
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
I have to be more careful now that I'm getting older, though. So I miss the mark some of the time, so I
Yeah.
I got to do it a little slower.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
I think
that's
it's just
wonderful!
that willingness it makes
Yeah,
such a difference. It turns an ordinary day into the
it
gift
really
that it
does.
is.
That's true. That's very
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
So I've got a couple things I want to do, but first, I would love it if you would read us one of your poems.
Okay.
And yeah,
I have a brand new one that I wrote yesterday. I don't have a painting for it yet, so it isn't posted.
that's okay.
So everybody's getting to hear this
I
very
love
first
it. Thank you for sharing it with us. Yeah.
time. This one, the title of this one is called "The Trick." Celestial turnings does a wheel of time make. Millions of soul stories are at stake. The trick of oneness spirals down through dimensions, born of choices made and aligned with Creator's intentions. Each telling is different, no two exactly the same. We all wove our oneness long before there were twin flames. Not just two, but 12, mind you. Could you even believe? We're weavers and healers with a wicked goal to achieve. Wicked as in wondrous, whole dimensional layers deep. Astrology a plaything compared to the secrets we keep. Only celestial turnings could thrill us as these do, in all of the 12 dimensions of becoming what we choose. It's only a bit of game, love, mysteries twined with ribbons of DNA, for us to awaken to wholeness, no matter how deep the play. Mind the next step, love, it's a doozy. Let me kindly explain. We transmute what doesn't serve, transform the rest with those that show the nerve. Did I tell you the stories grow from outside in to where it all began and will again?
Oh my God, I got the chills, Annie.
Oh, that's the brand new one.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
Thank
I
you. I
love
really
it.
enjoyed writing it.
I bet you did. It just speaks to the energies that we're dealing with right now, and also the ancestral healing that we all must do from the inside out,
Yeah.
even though things come. Oh my gosh. Yeah, everybody loved it. Oh, it's beautiful.
Yay.
You
I'm so
know,
happy.
so I hope you're taking pictures of all the art that you're doing for these poems, because I think you should make cards.
That's what, you know what? Terry planted that seed, and
Good. She and I
people
think
like
alike.
your
Yep.
wonderful self have been watering it. And I
Yeah.
talked to my husband this last week, and I said, I'd like to make an oracle deck
Yes.
with the
Yes.
paintings and I borrowed one of his, he's really into comic books, and he gave me one of his comic book boxes for storage. So I have all the paintings with the poem, the painting with the poem set aside. So I think that's I'm going to look into doing that. Hopefully to with a matte finish, because
Yes.
Jane the Seeker has very much asked anyone in the world to please make decks matte, so they
Yes.
don't. So they're easier to share on camera.
It is to share on the camera.
Yeah,
But yes, Teresa, that's what I would think. A painting on one side and the message or the poem on the other side. And what they are is very much like what I'm going to show you now. Although
Okay.
this is
Ooh,
shiny.
let's see.
This is shiny. I am not the creator of this deck, but
Okay.
again, back in 1990,
Right.
when I was so busy, we didn't have the things that we have today. You know, like you said on Terry's show, you know, you would go to the local bookstore and listen to tapes that they allowed you to listen to.
Yeah,
or
Lazarus.
we didn't have a lot of that, did we? We were like so hungry for it, but there was nowhere to get it, you know, and there was certainly no Amazon. Anyway, this deck, the Power Deck, the Cards of Wisdom, is by Lynn Andrews, who I'm sure all of you have heard of before.
Yes.
Lynn Andrews. She was a writer during that period of time. Maybe still is. I mean, she's probably.
I read her early books, and I didn't know she made a deck. That's beautiful.
She made a deck, and she made a deck with a man that has become my favorite artist. When I got this deck, I was enmeshed in the ideas, because what it does is it shows an image, and it gives a word and a number.
Okay.
And it is shiny. So yeah, but it also says, like, this particular card is West and black. So it's part of the medicine wheel.
Looking
and it gives you, yeah. So look at this one. See the feather.
Yes.
On the tree with the moon. And I don't know if that's supposed to be the earth or what, but there's two images of it. Okay. And so this one's called Perfection. He has, what I love about it too is love the Buddhist thing. And so he has the Buddha here, but he also has the eagle and the feather.
Oh, wow. Those are gorgeous.
They are gorgeous cards, and they're still available. I think they might be in a second printing, but let me see if I can find the one that this was one that I really loved.
Ooh.
And
oh man, that is gorgeous.
I know it. They are all
really
just
beautiful.
Wonderful. This one I have in a big poster because it's the chakras going up into the hands of this person. If you can see it.
Oh my goodness.
Absolutely. And look at the water. You can see the water.
Beautiful story. Oh my goodness.
So this one's called Nurturing, and that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So it is a power deck. It's meant to be Native American, but they do allow the Buddha in there, which makes me happy because I like that too. Anyway, this man's name was Rob Schoten. SC8. I'm going to write it in the chat.
Okay. Rob Schoten. Okay. And that was the artist you were talking about earlier?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Rob Schoten. Well done, Rob.
No, I know that isn't right. Hold on. It's got to be on the box.
Well, while you're looking for that.
Okay. Yeah. You do what you need to do.
While you're looking for that, I will tell you that my counselor, one of the things I told her was that, you know, all animals know their purpose and they fulfill it. And human beings are the only ones who must find our purpose.
Right.
And try to do it. And when I told her that, she goes, "You're kind of like a Buddhist." And I'm like, okie dokie.
It's very similar, Annie. Yeah. I found that to be so true. And Buddhism isn't a religion. It is just a philosophy. And there's so many parallels with, I love that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So
have you listened to Terry's guest, George?
No, not yet.
Oh,
no.
He's amazing because he does Buddhist mantras. And I'm not really into mantras so much.
Right.
I don't, it's just too organized for my liking.
I get it.
But what he shares is profound, really profound.
That's amazing. I'm like you. I like to fly by the seat of my pants and riff from thing to thing, how I'm thinking about it. I do that in teaching. And so that's why I can never nail down
Yeah, I don't
nail
like being
downing.
nailed down.
No, I don't
Yeah,
like it
I
either.
don't like it.
So when I moved to Washington State,
Mm.
I went, we did the tours around and we went up to Whidbey Island. Interestingly, that my husband now works up there.
Yeah.
But at the time, no, we didn't. So I went to Whidbey Island and I was driving down and I saw this little place where you could get apple pie and coffee. And they had the Highland games in there where the Scottish come in with the bagpipes. This is something you may be interested in. And they come in once a year. And there was a little artist studio there. And I got out of the car and I walked to the studio because I wanted to see everything. And it's his studio, Rob Shouten's studio in Freeland on Whidbey Island. And so I walked in the store and I was like a fangirl, if you know what I mean. I was so nervous. I wanted to talk to him, but I didn't know what I was going to say. And, so I'm looking at all of these beautiful paintings. And he has other people's works in there as well that he sells. But mostly it's him. And he comes out from the back and I recognized him. And I said, "Oh my God, Mr. Shouten, Rob, I'm so happy to, I'm so happy to meet you."
Fangirling all over him.
Yeah, I did. And I said, "Sir, you are a visionary.
Yeah.
You are a visionary." And I, from all his paintings that I've ever seen, he said, "Oh, I don't know about that." And I said, no, you are a visionary. You are. And so he said, "Well, thank you, So he had like cards you could buy for people to send to people. And he had a card, as I was telling Annie, that had a tree on it. And it really spoke to me. And it was just beautiful. And I said, "Oh, I have to have this one," because it wasn't in my deck. And he said, "Oh, that tree is right down the street." I said, "It is?" And he said, "Yeah, I'll give you the directions to go see it." So he said, "I want you to have that card. You have that card. You take that one." And I bought a few other things, but I'm leaving there going, "Oh, pitter pat, oh my God, this is just wonderful." Yeah. So I go take the directions to where it is. And I get out of the car and I'm walking down this little trail. And in front of me is this tree that it's not quite like in California redwoods, but it's big. It's really, really big.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they had a sign there or he told me, but he said it was probably about 400 to 500 years old, which would put it at George Washington as the president. Before him.
Way before him.
Before him. So I had my picture taken with my arms around it as a tree hugger at the time. And I felt the energy of the tree and it just blew me away. Yeah. The whole thing was a mystical, magical wonderland. And of course, there are no accidents. And so, the synchronicity was fabulous. So anybody that lives here in Washington State, if you go up to Whidbey Island, go to Freeland and find Rob Shouten's art studio because it's just fabulous. Yeah, it really, really is.
I want to go meet that. I want to go hug that tree.
I know you should. He'll give you directions. If he's not there that day or whatever, just ask whoever works there, "Where's the tree and that's down the street?" It's like you go down this road and then you take a right and just a little bit ways. It's not too far away, but isn't it wonderful?
Yeah, it's like
wonderful.
Love from mother everywhere. Yeah. I know. I once drove to. I flew and then drove to Pisgah Mountains in North Carolina, and I happened to be driving there in the evening. Never been there before in this walk. The moon was full, and I was driving just crying because it felt like visiting a grandmother, and Kauai felt like that too. Kauai felt like a grandmother. More than so, it's incredible when you wake up to that part of yourself that knows these things, and you can feel at home with mother in different places, and feel recognized, and that's that swoosh.
It is a swoosh.
Yeah, it is.
That happened to me in Switzerland. I was up on
really?
I went up a tram to the top of this mountain that overlooked Lake Lucerne.
This
is when I was a young girl, 30s.
It
was just amazing being there. But then when you go there, I'm standing on top of the mountain. I'm looking down on this beautiful lake, and the Swiss Air Force flies over my head.
What the heck?
Well, it was okay. It didn't scare me. I
Okay.
mean, they were up higher, but it was like they were saying you're part of this world and you're part of that world.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it was
Oh, wow.
felt at one a one atonement, a one. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Unforgettable. Those
Unforgettable.
moments are
They
unforgettable.
are
Yeah.
unforgettable. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So tell us about your book that you and your husband have, or is it a book of poems that you had
Yes.
printed out? Okay.
Yes, I had. Here's one that you might like. It's called For Those of Us Without a Compass.
Oh, okay.
We are here. We are in the here and now. While remembering our obstacles, we know we're counted on somehow. I can get lost in relationship, in a mall, or on the road. But when comes the last reckoning, through my eyes will truth be told. Part of a sovereign nation that had something to learn and also to teach. To whosoever is listening without laughter are the secrets that we keep. There are 13 moons, not 12 mere months. There are 7 directions, not just 4 taught by monks. Simple things make all the difference. I stand alone within my own counsel, my biggest enemy, indifference. It'd be so much easier to try and just blend, but so god awful lonesome in the end. If I look a fool, so be it. There's so little that I know, but I use it to the best of my ability to heal and grow. Someday, when I'm 93, I might even be wise. And I hope, looking to my left and right, it's you that I'm beside.
Hmm. How lovely. As I'm listening to you and you bring up age, it reminds me of the first time I ended up hearing "If I've Only Got 100 Years to Live." I don't know if you're familiar with that song.
No.
It's I'm 15 for a moment, and then I'm 33 for a moment, but I'm busy doing this and that, and then I'm 44 for a moment. I don't know, but it goes on, and then at the very end, it says, "You've only when you've got only 100 years to live." And I remember thinking, "Oh my God!" And some of us don't even have that, of course.
Most of us don't have that.
No,
Who did that song? Who wrote that? What's the name of that song?
All right, guys. It's called, I think it's called 100 Years to Live.
Okay, I will look that up.
Help me out, guys, if you know that. I'm 16 for a moment. Da, 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 for a moment. Da, 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 da.
Is it Joni Mitchell?
Nope, it was actually, it came out about 2005.
Oh.
And that might be why.
Definitely.
I'd heard it because I was teaching at the college. And I remember when I was parking my car to get out to go teach a bunch of young kids, that song came on. I started to cry.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because it just hit me between the eyes, you know. But yeah, it's a wonderful song. So I wonder if you've ever walked through Nia Bay. Have you ever been up there and walked down the path at Nia Bay? Do you know what I'm talking about there?
I'm not sure that I have, dear.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm not sure that I have.
That's okay. I ended up driving out to Nia Bay, and there is a Native American reservation out there. And so you go through the reservation and you get to the end of the land, basically. And there's a place you can park your car and you can walk down to look out over the ocean. And if you go down there,
beautiful.
It's got there's a lighthouse actually, or a house out off of Nia Bay.
Okay.
And it is run by the Native Americans. So I love it because there aren't all these rules, but you've got to be really careful because you don't want to fall and you don't want to fall off the cliffs that are out there, but they have it made so that you can stand there and look out. You can see Canada in one direction. You can see this. It is the most magical place, honestly. But whenever I live anywhere, I have to see north, south, east, and west. I have to know everything about that area because I've lived in a lot of different places. Oh, it's 5 for fighting. Thank you, Sally. It's 100 years by 5 for fighting.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank
What
you,
a
Sally.
strange name.
I know. Yeah. A strange
thank
name of
you.
a band. Yeah.
Yeah, 5 for fighting.
Yeah,
Oh,
5 for
already.
fighting. But it's beautiful.
Well, you know, I feel that way when I go on Orcas Island, which is my favorite place on Earth.
Uh-huh.
And when you go up to the tower, when you climb the tower up
Yes.
there, and you could see the curvature of the Earth. And when you look down, there's an island that's shaped like a heart. It's small.
Oh,
And the waters look green from that distance. And I always bring chicken for the ravens that come. You know, they like that. And there's a lot of deer. And on your way, you have to go to Lopez first, right?
Right.
On the ferry. And on Lopez, most everybody waves. And there's tons of wildlife because some rich dude had a sanctuary for wild animals. And then he died and they all got loose or something. So there's all kinds of wildlife on Lopez. And
I didn't know that.
On your way to Orcas.
Uh-huh.
And then remember, because the ferry always stops at that one tiny island where the nuns come.
Yes.
It's so weird.
I think to bring supplies or stuff. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're in their wimples and there's So, but that's just me. I mean, bless them, but that's just me. It gives me the creeps. But then to go to Lopez and then go to Orcas. And Orcas is my favorite place. I
have to agree with you. Absolutely. When I went there, I took my little Sheltie with me and her name was Chloe. And we're walking through the town and there's a sign that says Chez Chloe. It's the name of a shop. So I stood her right beside the sign.
Fancy. Look at you, fancy girl.
I know.
Yeah, there's so many deer wandering. Deer will just walk right by you on Orcas. My husband and I were on Orcas making out and before we got married, and deer just walked right between, right next to us. It was so awesome. I'm like, yep. My husband's like, wow, you really love nature, don't you? I'm like, yep.
Oh, I love that. That's so fabulous. Oh my goodness.
I loved taking pictures there. I used to take pictures with my camera.
Yeah.
And I love you can hide in the grass and get close-ups of wildlife. And
I'd love to stay there, but it's more of a wedding venue area where they charge quite a bit of money to stay overnight.
My husband surprised me one year where we stayed a weekend on Orcas.
Did you?
Oh, it was so fun. It was so nice. And when I get there, I'm like, love, when we're old, which now we are, but I'm like, we should get a boat and then we just don't ever have to leave. We can just go get groceries and come back. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went out to dinner to celebrate his retirement on Friday. Mm-hmm. We haven't eaten red meat in over 3 years.
I haven't since 1990. So.
Oh, my.
Mm-hmm.
We went out to dinner and we took a picture and I sent a picture to Terry of us going out to celebrate. And when we looked at that picture, I'm like, oh my goodness, love, look at us. We're white-hairs. And he goes, yeah, we are. I'm like, oh, okay.
We only get better, Annie. Yeah, take your time, honey. You must have a tickle in your throat. Take your time. We only get better.
I'm getting over an ear infection that I've had for about a week, and it's almost gone.
Okay.
But, yeah.
Must be some draining going on.
I've been playing in the pool with grandkids every day.
Oh, wow. How fun is that, though? Yeah.
It's so fun, but I got water in my ears, and I thought I'd gotten it all out, but But anyway, I'm going to wear earplugs and still play.
Well, sure. Well, you got the grandkids. You got to do that.
You got to play.
So Foxy Roxy spread her husband's ashes over those. How beautiful. What a beautiful thing to do.
That's what I've asked my family to do. I'm sorry for your loss, but that is exactly what I've asked my husband and son to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Nancy has a Native American spirit guide. Any message from the guide? I'm not sure if Annie does that. I can pull a few cards if you'd like me to, but it's wonderful that you have a Native American guide.
That is wonderful. Let's see what card she pulls.
Okay. I have the Sacred Earth Oracle card. So I'm
I
going to
will.
pull one of those, and you can pull an animal one if you got it. I don't know if you have it with you, but that's okay.
Okay. I'm going to burn some sweetgrass for you, dear Nancy. Nice to see you. Thank you for being here today.
Oh. I had pulled this one this morning, Nancy. I think I was anticipating you coming. I get clarity, and I absolutely love it because look at this wonderful person hiding in the earth, around the earth, and then there's a beautiful I guess it's crystals that are there with that person. So there's some clarity going on. You are becoming more clear. You are becoming more available to the things that you need to know. And I'm going to say there's nothing more beautiful really than the teachings of the Native Americans. And I mean, I've always held that high esteem for them. And it's just wonderful to know we got Annie here with us. Honestly, I just love it. I just love it. All right. So look at this one. This is all the horses running. I love that. And you can see the reflection of the horses in the water. Oh my goodness. Just lovely. And it says, force lives in your will and comes from your intent. Life is a process of pulling back your bow, aiming your arrow, choosing a target, and shooting. The degree and quality of the force with which you choose your target and shoot determine your power and your success. Force is built through your integrity of purpose, your physical tuning, and your balance of spirit and mind. By naming your active power, you create force. Follow your innermost passions in life. Empower your will and your strength of force by manifesting your secret dreams. How gorgeous is that? My
That
God.
is beautiful.
Very much so.
I drew, let me see if I can hold this correctly.
Oh, snake spirit.
I
Nice.
drew snake. And in part it says, this medicine teaches you on a personal level that you are a universal being. Through accepting all aspects of your life, you can bring about the transmutation of the fire medicine. This fire energy, when functioning on the material plane, creates passion, desire, procreation, and physical vitality. On the emotional plane, it becomes ambition, creation, resolution, and dreams. On the mental plane, it becomes intellect, power, charisma, and leadership. When this snake energy reaches the spiritual plane, it becomes wisdom, understanding, wholeness, and connection to the Great Spirit. If you have chosen this symbol, there is a need within you to transmute some thought, action, or desire so that wholeness may be achieved.
Beautiful. They, I've read so many times that when we see snake, a lot of people think of it in the negative way. But then when we realize how snakes shed their skin.
They're the original, ancient healer. Yeah. Oh, you froze here.
Yep. They're used in the medical caduceus.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's so much more than, the idea of serpent, let's say. It's very important. Yeah. So let's end this thing here. Sandy Miller says anything for the Lion's Gate, which is coming up with us. Tomorrow's the full moon. Get out there and I have to tell you guys, I posted something on Facebook about the full moon, what you should be doing and all that stuff. And my husband's daughters read it and loved it. And they don't know anything about all this. So,
oh, really? Not well, they're remembering, I imagine. I put my crystals and rose quartz. I love rose quartz so much.
Uh-huh.
I put that all in my windowsill.
Uh-huh.
So they can all be cleansed and fully charged. And thank you so much for this time today.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I also briefly want to say something that might sound a little bit silly, but I represent Annie Bear, a fumbly mumbly grandma lady who loves Creator. But I'm not authority on anything.
None of us are, honey.
Okay, I got
none of us are.
Giant holes of stuff I don't know.
So, no.
Thank you so much.
Actually, a Greek philosopher said, "All I know is that I don't know anything," and then
Yeah.
so that's the way it goes. Yeah. I did pull for the Lion's Gate. I got stretch. So stretch your imagination, stretch your beauty. Look at this, become one with the power that surrounds you and brings you the joy that you will need. Make sure you use it to good benefit. Make sure that you that you honor the earth, honor all those things that are that the Great Spirit has given you.
I want to offer this to people because it's happening to me recently.
Uh-huh.
And if it's happening to you, don't be afraid.
Okay.
Sometimes, like for years, when I would close my eyes and get quiet, I would see the color magenta. Only recently, when George, Terry's friend, shared that was the color of mother, that made sense. But recently, when I get quiet, I see crystalline structures in my body.
Mm-hmm.
And don't be afraid of this, because mother is ascending. Sometimes we're like little children and we're ascending, and aren't we just the end all be all? But what's actually happening, loves, is mother's ascending.
Right.
And we're going with.
Correct.
And so because we're in physical bodies at the moment, we feel it in our physical bodies in different ways. We might have crazy dreams.
Mm-hmm.
We might see crystalline structures in ourselves when we get quiet. It's all okay. Mother's ascending and we're going along with her. So don't be scared, okay?
Mm-hmm. Don't
And
be
drink
afraid of it.
a lot of water. Everybody be drinking a lot of water.
Definitely. That's a wonderful, yeah, we do need, I mean, it's already too hot here anyway. Not here necessarily, but I mean on the earth. And so we
Well, it
need to
helps
keep
our electrical body. It
it
helps our
does.
body. Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Allie.
Thank
Big
you.
hug.
Thank you, big hug. And thank you
Bye.
for everybody that was with us today. Thank you, Annie Bear. We love you.
Love you
Bye-bye,
too.
everybody.
Bye.